What's up, everybody? And thank you for hanging out again. Another Willie Barcena's dropping. I gotta tell you, I was just in Texas, and you got fans out there, Fabian.
I have fans?
Yeah, people were saying,
No
hey,
way.
man, working with your son, blah, blah, blah. Some people were really cool. Robert, no one said nothing.
Hey,
bro. It's all good, dog.
I love you, brother. What's up?
hey, I went to the Dodger game the other day. I got recognized.
Shit. You're a rock star, bro.
Someone took a picture with me in front of my friends.
Shit. Celebrity.
Yeah, right.
Hey, and I'll tell you about my weekend right now. Did you have a good weekend, bro?
Oh, yeah, I had a blast. It's my birthday bash weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Hey, I gave you, what did I give you, $2,000 for your birthday?
got $2,000 straight to the strip club. And
No way.
My girl was out of town. My girl went to Coachella, so.
I gave her 200 bucks. I ain't gonna give no $2,000, bro.
About 2,000? So damn, bro.
I got 200 bucks. Go buy some socks. Robert, how's it going, bro?
Bro, good, man. Glad to be back here, just fucking hanging out, dude.
Why you start talking when you get high? Dude,
Bro,
you were perfect before we started the show. All of a sudden you get high.
All right, I'm good now.
Shit,
I'm good, bro.
bro.
I'm good.
Oh, fuck.
God,
Okay,
damn.
anyways,
All right.
here goes. Real quick, mad love to Uvalde. It was one of the, it's crazy because half the people sucked. You guys are horrible, but half the people were great. Uvalde, I know a lot of things don't happen in that little town, but, when someone goes to entertain you and all the way from LA, man, the half that was good, you guys know, we all talked afterwards, but the other half, man, please, Google, how do I act when I watch a show, and then we went to Laredo. Mad love, Laredo, man. You guys, all right. You guys were amazing. And I think I was like, I did 2 hours. But the only reason I did 2 hours is because I hated the night before in Uvalde. And I had to let all this stuff out. So I love you, Laredo. We're going to see you guys again soon. That being said, speaking of performing, traveling, doing stand-up, old friend that we've known each other forever. You guys are gonna get the backstory right now. We got Mr. Jeff Garcia.
Man, what's up, everybody?
Hey, let me just.
Uvalde? I never heard of Uvalde, bro.
No, Uvalde.
Where the hell is that at, bro?
It's somewhere near 2 hours away from San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Going towards the border.
Like they're Ontario for us?
No, bro. Not even close, man. It's Victorville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll
All respect to Victorville, man. I love you guys, but you guys kind of middle of nowhere. But what was I gonna tell you, bro? No, man. You've been stand up more than 30 years now, right?
35.
35, yeah. And
May 2nd, 1991.
You want to give a recap on how old you were and how we met?
Oh, yeah. I was 15 years old.
You're 15?
Yeah, I was one day
I always
before
say you're 16. But you're 15.
One day before my birthday, my 16th birthday, that's when I did the first show. So technically...
East LA. The one where we met.
No, that's Tequila's.
Yeah. Tequila's.
No, I was in the Laugh Stop in Montclair.
Okay.
And then Gilbert, it was an amateur show.
No, I'm talking about when I met you.
No. Gilbert got on the phone, called you right away. He said, "Get him here on Wednesday." So I was there that Wednesday, and he went on the phone, on the payphone out there, and called you about me.
Okay, I don't remember that, bro.
I know, bro. You were drunk.
No. I don't know. Could have been, but I don't. Go ahead, continue. So I'll tell you the stuff I remember, and then you know what I mean. It's like in any relationship. People remember it different.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
Well, just don't bring my ex-wife up and then have her call because she means everything different. Who's that black guy? Anyway, so what happened was I did the show with Gilbert, and then he got on the payphone and I walked by him, and he was talking to you, and he goes, "There's this like the kid over here, a Latino kid," and he told you, and then I gave you my number over the phone. I was staying with my dad in Rancho. And then I called you and you said, "Hey, come down. this place. You know,
I said that?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I see. That's not how I tell the story. But I
I want to hear what you remember.
No.
Man.
Okay, I remember this, man. I remember I thought you were 16 when I met you, and I was had a room in East LA called
Tequilas, yeah.
And we had our show, and then the owner Rudy or somebody told me, hey, there's a kid outside that wants to do stand up, and then that was you, and then the owner told me that he couldn't let you in because it was a bar.
Yeah.
And it was alcohol, and you're only 15 years old. And I don't know what, man. I talked the owner into letting you in.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, I don't know how, I didn't even know you, man. And
You bought me a beer that night, bro.
I didn't buy you a beer.
Yes, you
I
did.
didn't.
My sister,
I did not buy.
told me.
I know for a fact on my mother's children I didn't.
Somebody bought me a beer.
I know I didn't. I know I didn't because Rudy had held me. He goes, I can lose my liquor license. And that's something I don't play. I don't play.
No, I get it.
So he said to me to keep you. He goes, the only way I can keep the kid, the kid in here, is if you watch him and you keep him in the corner.
Yeah, you had me in the office, but where they.
I
remember like it was yesterday, bro. It was my first big show of my brain, dog.
Well, I remember he said where I can see you, and it was the corner, and then and I remember that's how it is. And then he wanted you to leave after the show, and I talked him into letting you stay if we keep you in the same corner.
Well, my sister was gonna come pick me up. Remember, I didn't have a car or nothing. I didn't have money.
No, weren't you runaway, bro?
No, I was, but I took a bus to the show.
Okay, no, but I'm saying you're saying that you had to talk to your dad and this and that. But when I asked you where do you live, you said you were living in friends' homes.
Yeah, like the homeboys. I had a bunch of guys that we had a crew in Puente called the Henchmen, and they all had like, back houses and stuff like that. So I just would bounce back and forth.
So to me, I looked at it as if you were a kid that was a runaway. I kind of asked you like where you staying, and you basically, from what I remember, bro, you said you really didn't have a place to stay, and that's how you ended up living with me and Carlos Oscar.
Exactly.
So that's what I remember.
I said it because I wanted to live with you and Carlos Oscar.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys were doing shows like every night. I'm like, I want to live there.
Right. Okay.
I
guess you've always been a fucking bullshitter.
Yeah,
you fucking since you were 15.
Well, think about it,
bro.
man. You think I want to live with my dad in Alta Loma Rancho? You know what I'm saying? What's going on out there back in the 90s? Nothing.
All right. And then
give me credit for getting in the house.
Right. Well,
remember, I was
30 years later, we find out you were fucking bullshitting me.
35, but okay.
So that's pretty smart, though. That's like an initiative.
Yeah.
Right there,
Okay.
Well, why don't you tell them what I did at the house with you and Carlos?
Yeah, I was gonna get.
Because I was the bitch there, bro.
No, you weren't, bro.
Yeah, bro. I had to wash dishes. I had to wash your guys' clothes.
No.
Did you fold their clothes? Hey, did you fold their clothes?
Jeff will make the fucking the fish that you caught that's 6 inches. Jeff will make it fucking 4 feet. So that did not happen. We
caught that little bitch. I caught an 8. I'm just kidding.
No, so he was he didn't really have any income to help
pay rent.
Yeah. To hold his own, right? So I said, because Oscar didn't want him there. I mean, Oscar was like, "No, man, we're gonna have somebody else here, and electricity and this and that." And I said, "Listen, man, let's just help him out, but he'll help us out. I'm gonna make sure he's cool." So we gave you like chores, dude, like you were a kid.
Yeah.
We gave you, that's what it was. It was just chores, dude.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Barcena right here was taking off. He had done like 16 shows. Remember you hooked up with Raph?
Yeah.
And then so he was getting on TV. This is way before now. So if you were on TV and you went to a city, you sold out. You were killing it.
I never caught that way, bro. I just did enough to have packed houses, but I never caught the wave of selling out. I mean, I did well at my shows, which is why I kept my agent and my manager for a long time.
Yeah.
But then I kept getting television shows, doing spots on TV.
Do you remember Chili con Comedy?
Chili con Comedy. We did that. I was on Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but I remember we had to. You started drinking at 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were drinking a lot, and it was almost like we had to monitor you. You know,
Yeah.
me and Carlos.
I remember.
It's like
Because Carlos didn't drink.
Yeah, Carlos didn't drink, and at that time I wasn't drinking a lot yet, bro. Because I didn't drink hard till I got
Okay, bro.
Till I got no. I didn't drink harder till 4 or 5 years past that.
Past
Three,
what? Like
that time.
So how old were you
I don't know. I was probably 28.
when you started drinking hard?
Harder, yeah,
Okay.
28, 29.
Well, I'm not going to put your business out there, but the first time I stayed with you, you were with somebody, and then you guys broke up. That's how we ended up in Carlos' scene.
I was with Gloria.
Yeah.
I was with Gloria. I had a girlfriend.
You took me to the hospital. Remember, I had an ear infection?
Yeah. You were like our son, dude.
Yeah. Woke him up like at 1 a.m. and go, I'm sorry, it hurts.
Yeah, no, you were crying, dude. Mm-hmm. You were crying. We were like having like one of you guys, bro.
Yeah, right?
Like, you know. But
So he gave me his insurance card.
Yeah.
And the nurse came in and she goes, how old are you? And I'm all 27. Wow, you look great. And I was like 16, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I remember that, and then I remember your ass, bro. What I hated about you, man, because you were paying the ass, bro.
I was 16,
we
bro.
had two bedrooms. There was a bedroom upstairs and one downstairs, and he got the couch, right? Jeff got the couch, and I would tell him, "Do not you sleep on the couch." So I would get home, you right, with a chick,
And he'd be in his room. I'd be
and
in
he'd
his
be
room.
in my room, my fucking bedroom, bro.
No way, dude.
Sleeping on his bed.
Yeah, bro. I'd be like, Jeff, get the fuck up.
I remember every night, man, because he was a whore back then. Every night, the door opened and I seen light, and then he had a bag from the liquor store and a chick with him. I'm like, okay, it's fine, man. I'll go out and lay in the couch.
Hey, you know, it was crazy when I remember that. I totally forgot. And Fabian, this is before you were born, dude.
Oh, years.
Yeah, it was years before you were born, bro. So there were. I don't know what made me do this, but I felt, because I didn't have a lot of money, but I wanted to give the girls a gift. Because I didn't have money to buy them like flowers or anything. But
We used to call it the Willie Kid. I remember that.
I had like pictures of myself
And videos that he recorded.
So I put them in a little plastic bag, like when the girls would leave, like give them a care package, you know. Like,
And it's of you?
Yeah, me.
We call it the Willie Kid.
Like a headshot.
A headshot sign.
A VHS,
And a VHS.
a little trinket.
He was press kit.
Think about that, bro.
A little gift bag.
Little
Right?
gift bag, bro.
I'm telling you guys, man, 80 cents for vagina. That's fucking awesome.
And so this was when you're like on TV and
I
stuff.
was doing
right?
some TV, yeah.
Yeah.
I started doing TV. I think yeah.
Dude,
The funniest thing about your dad,
Hilarious, dude.
Fabian, is this. When he did Chili con Comedy, I was at the house, right? And I wasn't old enough to go nowhere, so I just kicked it there, right?
No, you went with us. I have the pictures.
Not the Chili. No, you're talking about when you filmed it, not when you went out when it aired.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then he comes home. I go, "What's up, man? How'd it go?" He's all, "Bro, only guys recognize me."
Probably true, bro. But yeah. Now that was back in the day.
Your comedy, like now, it's more like, guy friendly. I'd say. Was it like that back then too? Like
No, it was guy friendly because at my first I want you to play, bro, one of the bits I wrote I don't know 30 years ago, and that's from a cassette back then.
Yeah.
And it was called They're Just Jokes.
Women want diamonds. That's what women want, huh? Diamonds are forever. Bullshit. The payments are.
And then there were about relationships. There's one about me being broke and having a fucked up Chevy Nova. Mm-hmm. And then there's one about me not being able to buy a girl flowers. And there's one about getting caught cheating. Because this girl named Maria I was going out with caught me cheating. And I remember she found hairs in my little apartment. And that's
when he wrote a whole joke about that.
I wrote the black hair on the black rug. So there were a lot about relationships, you know? Yeah. And then my being poor, you know? So yeah, it was. But back then, and I think Jeff and Robert, you guys can add to this, man. And I heard, one of the greats, bro, said you start out writing jokes when you're first a comedian, and then as you get better, when you write a lot, that joke turns into a bit.
Yeah.
When you start writing a lot and you don't quit, that bit turns into a story.
Mm-hmm.
So you become a good storyteller, but only if you write. Which when I see people that have been around as long as I have been around, and they still can't tell a story, I can tell it was because of the laziness of not writing. Mm-hmm. I'm not pointing no fingers.
Yeah,
Robert.
I know.
I always get on
we
you.
know
Bro.
that
I know
one.
you get on me.
I was like,
hey,
bro,
but sometimes
Robert.
I'll go there and have some good stories.
So Robert, let me tell you love this story, bro. I told Robert, come on, bro. It's been 30 years. You got to retire Cholo Swing. His joke.
Right.
So we did a show 2 months ago, a month and a half ago.
No, it was like a month ago.
A month ago in Vegas, a corporate gig.
Okay.
And I said, Robert, please, man, 30 years, dude. I know you got new material, motherfucker. You were there, Fabian. 20 seconds in. Cholo Swing. I was like, God damn it, Robert.
Yeah, bro. I had to, dude. It was, those corporate gigs when it's like all spread out. It's like the lighting's bad.
No, I don't want to hear excuses.
I don't want to
bro.
get. I know.
Yeah,
it was a mental thing
and
for
then
me.
My mom had
Listen,
balls to be my fucking
you're right.
dad. All right.
Listen, I'll give you that. All right.
I'm gonna tell you.
It happens.
I'm gonna tell you guys a story about Barcena right here, right? So
After this, I want to hear stories about you, bro.
Okay. This is a story about me.
Okay,
I just telling you because how cool you were to me.
You.
Okay, well check this out, right? So I got a $25,000 deal from Disney. Remember?
That's when you moved out.
Yeah, I
you
moved
got
out
a
of his
little
house.
apartment in Montebello.
Whittier.
Oh,
Yeah, the little
same
one.
thing, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Montebello, Whittier.
Yeah, I know. You can throw a rock to
People,
Whittier. Anyway,
it's all the same shit.
so I was doing this. I ran this room called Gotham's, right? And I got a call from this guy from Penske Toyota.
All right.
And all the employees were all Latinos.
All right.
So he calls me up and he goes, "Hey, we're having a Christmas party and we hear a bunch of our employees go to your show on Wednesday. Can we hire you to come down, right?" And I go, "Yeah." And what day is it? And he told me what day in December. I go, "Okay, man." He's like, we were thinking 11. And I'm thinking 1400. And he goes, "You know what? We can do that. You know what I'm saying? We can do 14. Mm-hmm. I said, "Okay." I told him 14. I didn't say 1400. I said 14. So I went and did the show. I took Juan Little Chepo.
Yeah.
I took him with me because they wanted somebody to do a little bit of Spanish, and I don't speak very good Spanish.
Right.
So we did the show. He gave me the check. I took it home. I opened it. It was $14,000. So I called you up. Remember?
I don't remember this, bro. Honestly, I don't.
It was at 11:30.
Okay.
You were fucking gone.
Well.
Anyway, point being is this: you told me call him up and tell him, it went really well. I'm happy. Next year I'll do it for 11,000 and see what he says. Mm-hmm. And then the guy says, "No, we'll give you 14,000 again. You were great." So that's why I knew they didn't make a mistake. I thought they made a mistake. I thought they put 14,000 when it was supposed to be 1,400. So I went and I cashed that shit.
Nice, bro. Well, that was a lot of. I think that's what most of the holding deals were going for back then.
Yeah, I got 25. You got 50 that year.
One time I got 50. Mm-hmm. And hey, you know what I did, Fabian? So fucking ghetto. I went with with Ross Mark. Ross, I love you, bro. I went to the bank and I asked Ross. I wanted to cash $50,000, so I got it in cash. I took it home. I just wanted a whole $50,000.
But you throw it up, have like a fucking money party?
No. I just wanted to hold it. I just wanted to.
Was it like 20s or hundreds?
I think it was hundreds, bro.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to feel what it was like. Coming from before that, I just had $75, $50 gigs.
Yeah, here and there.
That was and we were all struggling to to eat. We used to cook.
Top ramen eggs.
Yeah, but we didn't. I don't know, man. As much as we struggled, we didn't act like pussies.
We didn't know we were struggling.
Like we were just having fun, man.
Hey, how fast did you spend that 50,000 though?
I'm trying to think, bro.
Nah, it took forever. It took forever because what happened was he got that deal because he was doing so many television shows, bro. Like, and what's amazing about him that he doesn't have a sitcom like all these big, comedians because he was. You have to understand something. This guy, we would do such ghetto places, and if you could make those people laugh, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, Fabian, I gotta tell you, one of the things. No, you're right. One of the because I'm trying to think about that money, bro. I did one of my first buys was a nice Toyota Celica.
Yep.
Okay.
And then your mom
crashed
totaled it.
Yeah, I
your
remember
mom
that.
totaled it, bro. She was
Oh, she's pregnant with Willie.
Willie, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
And then she said,
fuck.
and then he's over there going, "Give me the keys to your car." And his new one was like newer, huh? Because she had a Celica, didn't she?
No, I never got. She didn't have a car.
She didn't have a car?
Gina didn't have a car. No,
But that car was sweet,
no.
bro.
It was relatively new. It was like the best thing I ever bought myself. But I did tell her this, Fabian. You'd be proud of me, dude. I told her, Amy, and you can fact check me with your mom and ask her because she came crying, and I said, listen, you're okay. Because she was pregnant. He goes, the baby's okay. We can always buy another car. So you could check that, Fabian. You'll see. So,
hey, but didn't you want an abortion? So like,
here we go. What a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
Why you gotta bring up that shit, bro? I want to abort all you motherfuckers, bro. Who the fuck wants kids,
I'm
bro?
just asking, like,
Hey, bro,
like,
can you work
like,
from your son
hey,
like Trump?
Hey, like in the back of your head, where you like, oh
No,
shit.
never, dude. Because I
No,
knew
that's fucked up, dude.
I was.
Damn, bro.
you're an evil fuck, Fabian.
I'm asking you, man.
No,
I'm asking,
bro. I
I'm
should have
asking the
aborted
question.
your ass. That's what I should have aborted, fucker.
You know what? I don't like the way people are talking. I want to board you guys right now. Leave.
I don't want the middle one, bro.
And he's the one that's having you the most right now.
Yeah, right?
Fuck, man.
Nah, I'll tell you right now, bro. Like when I seen your relationship with your ex, you know what I'm saying? You guys were complete. I've never seen a relationship where, you guys are both equal to being bad and being good. You know what I'm saying? You guys were. You're a good dude, man.
I don't understand what being bad and being good.
Well, I'm giving you an example.
lost.
I'm giving you an example. You get drunk and you come home and tell her she ain't shit, and in the morning you go get her breakfast and apologize. You know what I'm saying? That's good and bad. You know what I'm saying? You could be an asshole.
How do you know, Dick? You were never there. You never lived with us. You lived with Gloria and me, but never with Gina.
We lived in Silver
Never.
Lake, and Gina would come over.
Yeah, bro.
All the
but
time.
But Gina would not sleep over, bro. You got the wrong fucking. I had a bunch of hoes.
I know. I was gonna say.
I had a bunch of them, bro.
And one of there's your kids are here. I don't want to pick the wrong hoe.
You know what's wrong? You know what's wrong? That I apologize to women that I went out with when I was younger and I say hoes. You know what? We were kids. We all messed around, and
It's not our fault because every rapper called hoes.
That's the wrong thing to say, right, Robert? Don't you think?
Every rapper out there was saying hoes, so we had it in our ears.
Especially nowadays. We want to be politically
No,
correct.
I don't want to be politically correct. I just feel that that's not fair of me years later because,
Well, I think maybe some of the chicks you're with are probably hoes.
bro, you know what?
And back then, you got to keep in
I would
mind.
say-
You don't know their background, bro. Maybe they
I
had a
would say a
bad
majority
childhood.
of them were probably
I
hoes.
think that
You know what? The older I get, the more sensitive I get, bro. Bro, there were just some ladies had issues more than others, man. Damn, Fabian.
All right, let's talk about Jeff.
Oh damn! What do you want to know?
So what? Okay, so you got when did you get? I know you got a deal or two, and how soon did you get that cartoon? Because you're the voice of
Sheen.
Sheen.
Yeah, that's the first one I got.
the voice of Sheen on
Jimmy Neutron.
This Purple Vengeance version with power fists and nuclear knees is in rare, never been seen condition, making it highly collectible.
Never been seen, huh? Well then, how do you know it's even in there?
Jimmy Neutron.
And speaking of, we're doing the sequel in September.
No way.
Yeah, they're coming back. So
Really?
Like or a movie?
it's a movie. Yeah.
Is it gonna be on on theaters or Netflix?
I have no clue, bro, because the way it works now. Remember, Paramount is the one that made the actual Jimmy Neutron, the first one.
Yeah.
But now they have Paramount Plus. You know what I'm saying? Paramount owns another network. It's all over the place. They own like a bunch of things, so we don't know where it's gonna go.
Hey,
Okay, go back. I just wanted to ask you, when did you get? How old were you when you got that deal? How soon when you moved out?
No, I got it when I was like 20 or 21.
You were 21 when you got the Jimmy Neutron?
Odekirk told me, like the guy that produced it, he told me what he did. He saw, because he was like a comedian too.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went, and his best friend was Jim Carrey, and he wrote Ace Ventura.
Is he the same one from Call Me Sal?
No, that's Bob Odekirk.
Oh, okay.
No, Steve was a writer for In Living Color.
Oh, okay.
So, and then he met some company in Dallas called DNA, and they hooked up, and that was like first big movie he did on his own.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He was writing with Ace Ventura 2. He was writing he made a movie called Nothing to Lose.
Okay.
So, that was the first project that he completely had.
Okay.
So he called up all the comedy clubs.
What did he see you somewhere? Or what?
No, he called up all the comedy clubs and go, I need a young Latin. Mm-hmm. Because what the network was saying back then, because like he said, politically correct was the way to be in the early 2000s. So they wanted to have every race involved.
Back then? You would think that'd be now. You would that be now with the woke generation?
No, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Sheen, people don't know, Sheen was written as an Asian.
Okay.
And I went in for Nick, the cool kid with the skateboard.
Yeah.
You think I sound cool?
Well, I don't know why. I ain't gonna try to hate bro at all because I know I watched it because you were in it,
Mm-hmm.
but I never really knew. He knew.
Dude, I don't know if you know this, but that movie is like iconic for people my
The
age.
movie or cartoon?
The both movie and the cartoon.
There was a movie too?
Yeah, the movie came
Yeah.
out first.
God
And then
damn,
the cartoon.
Fabian.
No, I'm serious. Like,
Did you go see it with your mom?
Yeah, I saw that, Mom. I remember when the premiere came. I remember the first episode that came out because it was on Nickelodeon, and I was so excited for the TV show to be made.
Really?
And I remember I stayed up with Mom and Willie. We watched it. Like we got popcorn and everything.
Really?
So, yeah,
Oh,
dude.
wow.
Dude,
Oh, adorable.
Dude, the movie was like a big thing. And then I remember I think I was like in third grade, and I remember you told me because you saw me watching it, and you were like, "Oh, it's like." I remember you said something like, "Oh yeah, I'm friends with Jimmy Neutron" or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "No way!" And I went to school. I told my teacher, and I was like, I was like, "Hey, you know my dad's friends with Jimmy Neutron,
There you go.
the actor." And then my teacher's like, "Isn't the voice a girl?" And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, her name is.
they didn't believe
it is
you,
a girl?
huh?
Yeah, so
No
thought you were
way.
bullshitting.
so now I'm thinking like my teacher just thought I was fucking making this shit up.
And then he went to his mom and said, "No, my dad's acting like Jeff Garcia when he was 15, because he's bullshit." You guys didn't get that? Okay,
No.
never mind. That was gonna hit hard.
Lower my head, bro.
Yeah, right.
Hey, rub it off on him, Robert.
Hey, no, I was gonna say, hey,
Robert,
no.
I'm gonna blink that one on you.
Hey, it wasn't my fault.
When Jim's joke don't work, I'm still fucking going to you, Robert.
I'm chilling right here.
I'm saying.
Damn, Robert.
Well,
you're at it again, Robert.
Well, you just spent 3 minutes saying I was bullshit when I was 15, so I brought it back, and you didn't remember what you said.
He did a
All
call
right.
back. He did a call back.
You get what I'm saying?
All right.
Sorry.
You want us to laugh? Put a soundtrack there, bro. Do it like they do on the radio.
Yeah.
Do a ha
A bunch of dead people laughing at me.
Hey, so when that show came along, man, I know, were you already in the relationship you were in? Because right, you
Yeah, I met my wife when they
right?
Yeah, my ex-wife. Yeah, I met my ex-wife about 3 months before they gave me that movie.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, man, like for Latino, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way you grew up, like the way I grew up. Like the first experience I have in Hollywood was like it was weird, man. We're sitting there, right? Because what they did was that they had a deal for the movie and the series. And the reason why they do that in animation is because they already made the animation. All the characters and neighborhood and everything's all made.
Okay.
So the first budget was like $30 million and then like, and it's gonna go way down because all the characters and all the people are already made.
All right.
So it's gonna go from 20 million for the animation to 2 million. That's why you see Despicable Me like in 5 and Shrek 6. You know what I'm saying? Because they already have the animation made.
Okay.
All they gotta do is just go put. So it's gonna be cool. But the first thing that happened to me because I got the weird things that Latinos that we know that other races don't deal with. I you know I'm Latino, so I know them. Mm-hmm. Like one time when we started doing the series. They got a call from upstairs. They said Jeff Garcia has not filled out his paperwork that he needs to fill out. So I had to go upstairs, right? And I walk in the office. He goes, "Oh, thank God you're here. That light bulb's out, and can you throw this trash out for me?" I'm like, "No, I'm an actual voice. I'm not the janitor." Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then we're in third episode of the series, right?
Okay.
And I go, I remember what I was going to tell you. Sorry, the problem with my brain right now.
Yeah.
But it was like, they go, "Hey, it's going to be great on Sunday, isn't it?" And I'm sitting there on the couch, and I go, "We're working on Sunday?" It was the premiere. Nobody told me.
Oh shit!
So they had to apologize to me.
Damn.
So did you make it to the premiere?
Yeah, I went to the premiere, and then me and my dad and my ex-wife pulled up in my convertible Mustang, and then the whole cast walked out of a limo. We're like,
"Oh shit!"
Yeah, it was like I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about stuff like that. But I just thought it was kind of weird that they wouldn't offer me something like that.
Right. Well, it's, for me, I mean, I think I've always felt, and I said it before, we had Leno here, you know, and I told him that I always felt like an outsider. And then he like, because I always did. I always felt like I didn't belong in Hollywood. And I got like 5 development deals.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and each development deal, I always felt like, okay, what am I doing in this meeting? I feel awkward. I never felt comfortable. And so I know what you're saying about feeling out of place or even having them, you know, maybe treat you without them. I don't know if they meant to, but in a lot of ways they would be condescending.
Yeah,
by accident. Yeah. If I remember going to a meeting and I had a manager and he told me, I said, "What are you going to wear tomorrow to a meeting?" And I said, "These pants."
Yeah,
that's what I got, right? And he goes, "Oh, can you go buy some khakis?
Yeah,
you know, like those khaki dress-up pants." And he goes, "Can you buy a polo shirt?" And I actually went to go buy some khakis and a polo shirt, and I was sitting so stiff in a meeting.
Yep, you didn't feel comfortable. You didn't feel like yourself.
Yeah, I didn't even know when to talk. I would look at my manager like, "Should I talk now? You know, when do I talk?" And you just feel like an idiot. I always, but I give the guys, man, the Chappelles, the guys that were able to break through that. I mean, Fluffy, man, he was able to break through that and make it work for him.
Well, yeah, see, that's what like I don't really understand, bro, because I don't understand why Latinos aren't bigger when it comes to television. Because remember, you did Mas Locos, right? When I got sick.
Yeah.
Okay, look it. The way I sold that was this. I went through and sat there, babe, for like 2 weeks, looking up like how many people Latinos are in the censorship. Like how many are there? There's
no. Well, that's different now, bro. We're jumping 2 decades, bro.
No,
because
we're
now,
not. You know why? Because the Mas Locos got picked up last year.
No.
What I'm trying to tell you is listen to what I'm trying to say, all right? It's because there's 39 million Mexicans in this country. And we've had one syndicated television show in the history of television?
No, but let me share this with you, bro. Okay, I know we.
How bad is George Lopez, bro? How good is he? Like how badass is he? He's awesome, and it took Sandra Bullock and Bruce Helford to put him on the air.
Okay, that was almost 30, 40 years ago.
What I'm trying to say is that all these things that are going on. This is the biggest example I'm going to tell you, right? And you're going to like this story because nobody knows it. I did research. Okay, the Eagles, like Hotel California and the Eagles, the band, they have the #1 album that's ever been sold. So they went to the Nokia Theater and sold out 4 shows. George Lopez showed up a week after and did 8.
Yeah. No. Well, to me, when talking about like, whether we get support as Latino artists, I think it's changed, bro. Because I just was in Michigan, sold out a few shows. I was just in Boise.
No, I get it.
So,
and tell you the truth, I'm not saying that they're racist because they don't understand us the way we grew up.
No. That to me is more past tense.
You mind if I have
No, go ahead. To me, that's past tense, man, because things have changed a lot, man. Because of algorithms and all that, it's not the same,
Well, bro, 20 years later, Lopez is the only person still on the air.
Well,
he's saying like compared to like Hollywood. Versus,
but I don't think
you're talking about the internet now.
People don't really need Hollywood anymore.
You
man.
don't.
They don't.
You're right. People don't even need a manager and agent anymore.
No, you don't.
My team is me, Fabian, and another buddy, and we'll go to New York and sell out.
Yeah.
We'll go to Chicago, sell out. To me, what you're saying applies to maybe 25, 30 years ago.
But also he's saying like nowadays, if you want to get a TV show, you still
Name
have
one that's on a network.
You still got to go through like if
to
like
me,
right now,
I'm like fuck them, bro.
Right, but I'm saying you would have to produce it yourself, put it up yourself, put it on Amazon yourself, and hope that the people are gonna get drawn to.
Well, like I'll give you another example, bro. Is that look at Asians. Okay, they know their food is good. So they'll go to a white neighborhood and put their restaurant there because they know those people got money, first of all. Second of all, they're going to come in and they're going to make money. You know what I'm saying? Why doesn't anybody industry look at these Latinos and say, they don't have nothing?
I think a lot of Latinos are very successful right now because of social media.
No, I agree.
A lot of them have.
It's changed now because look at American Idol was that Mexican guy from Boyle Heights just won.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, Jeff, going back to the red carpet event when they didn't get you the limo, that's pretty crazy. But at which point did they start treating you better? Because I know eventually you had your own spin-off show.
Well, one of the things that I think, because when I stepped on that, the studio, the first time we did Jimmy Neutron, there was a girl named Candy Milo there. And she's half Latina.
Okay.
And she'd seen I was lost.
Uh-huh.
So she pulled me aside and says, hey, if you have a question, just ask me. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And then Rob Paulson's there, and you know who Rob Paulson is, right?
No.
Oh, you got to have him on your show, bro. That guy's hilarious, huh, babe? Dude, that guy did Pinky in the Brain. He played Pinky. He's the biggest voiceover actor that's ever lived, and he started respecting me.
Okay.
And then because he's older, he's in his 70s, and then I didn't know what I was doing, so I said, "No, I'm gonna need some Crayola." and they go, you can't mention any brands because if that's not our sponsor.
Right.
He's all, say Sharpie instead. So I did, and they go, you can't mention, and I'm like, you fucking fossil, you told me to say that. You know what I'm saying? So then we became friends, man. That was like a family. Damn. We're literally like a family. Everybody cares about each other,
We're talking about voiceover people?
Yeah, with the Jimmy Neutron cast.
Oh, Jimmy Neutron cast.
You know what I'm saying? Then we did Barnyard, and Odekirk was the producer of that. I'm telling you, that guy knows exactly what he's doing.
But what made them pick you though?
Because when Odekirk was making Barnyard, he said he wants Garcia as Pip. So when they read that, they go, okay, well, you got to pay attention to this guy just a little bit.
Right.
And then that's what happened. Then we did Barnyard, the movie, which killed it. And then we did the series, which won a daytime Emmy. And then they were talking about Jimmy Neutron, and they said a thing where they go, the most popular character is Sheen.
Wow, that's pretty cool, bro.
When I told them, I said, I don't want to do it without Rob.
So so you got a spinoff?
Yes.
So that's how you got it because they did the.
I just won a lifetime achievement award from the state of Texas.
Really?
Yeah, and
cool.
they said that I was reading my resume. I had no idea what it was. I'm the only Latino actor in the history of television that's had a spinoff.
Damn.
There's been guys that have been on spinoffs that are Latinos, but it wasn't named after their character. So when they did Planet Sheen,
That's pretty cool, bro.
No,
Very
bro.
commendable, man.
Man, bro, I'm telling you, when I woke up out of the hospital and I wasn't dead, I was thanking God.
Right.
Like, look at, well, I work with Robin Williams on Happy Feet. I'm gonna tell you a story, bro. You're gonna like this story, man. He's always on. He was always on.
Robin's always on.
Yeah, and then what happened was he would just be on, and then he would do whatever he wants on the set. So the director would be like, okay, cut. We're gonna they're all Australian. We're gonna take a 4-minute break so Elijah can have a cigarette. And then Robin pops off. Hey Jeff, do you hear about the new Anne Frank movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'm like, what? Yeah, the new Anne Frank movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. She's up there. The bitch is up there. Put her in the chopper. He would act like that all the time. Like he sat next to me one time. He's because he respected me because, bro, I walk. You know how we are. We respect the stars,
All right.
but we don't want to be run. And he was talking over my lines, and I'm like, and I went outside to smoke, and I'm like, this guy, I respect him a lot, but he's not gonna run over me. So I started thinking about where'd he come from. Remember, he started out the Improv Olympics, you know, where they just ask, you know, give me a job, and they just go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ground links.
Yeah, and I remember that he's from there. So I did a test. So when we started the scene, I said, knock, knock. He's all, who's there? I'm like, he has to. I got him.
So did you end up getting along with him?
Yeah.
Which, that's
yeah.
Which character did you play in Happy Feet?
Ronaldo. The one with the flat top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did.
Happy Feet's another freaking iconic movie, which is
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
Oh, George Miller was a director, right?
Yeah. Dude, I still throw in that movie sometimes when I'm high.
Well, you know what George Miller is amazing at? He knows that Latinos have way more kids than every other race.
I think everybody knows that, bro.
I hope so.
I think,
Yeah, right.
I think that's well known. I think it's been well documented.
Well, I'm just
by
saying.
many black comedians.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying it like, look at Dora the Explorer. You know what I'm saying? They made her, and look at how she took off.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, is there a void in Hollywood with Latino artists? Absolutely, but to me, I've always felt like fuck them. Then I'll just do things like the way we're doing them now. I'm not. For me, bro, I get it. Hollywood is they want to act like Latinos aren't around, or they pick one or two guys or whatever. And I knew that since I've been in the business.
Yeah,
so
no,
that's
you
why
told me.
they
You're the
don't,
one that told me that.
they don't,
How I know it.
It's that's why they don't. It doesn't bother me at all. I just I get a lot more high or thrill, if you want to say that, of me and Fabian and DJ plotting, to do a city or have a do 6 cities and okay, how do we get everybody there? And through the magic of what social media is today,
marketing.
To me, that as I don't know, bro. I haven't been there.
Well,
forever.
I gotta tell you something, bro. Is that the half the stuff that I know and what made my success in my thing was the things you guys would tell me. Esquivel, Moreno, you know what I'm saying? All my mentors I respected. Bro, we were doing Latino night on a Monday, 2 shows.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, the Latino numbers are we've always been there, and what I would tell any young comedian out there, as long as you're not, well, then I don't know. It's contradicting because a lot of the young comedians now are doing gimmicks. They get people up on stage, they hump the stool.
Yeah,
They get people to. They get people
Dating game.
They're cruise ship directors because all those acts I seen them on cruise ships. Directors do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
All those moves.
Hey,
are from,
yeah, no, I remember last week or the week before you were talking about you're talking about a comic that his gimmick was he used to go through people's purse, the girl's purse, and pull out, make jokes, right?
Yeah.
And I seen the same thing on TikTok the other day. This comedian that's
A comedian
blowing up,
doing that?
doing the same shit, pulls out a condom. Oh, right. And it's like, this is your first date, right? And then, but it's crazy. Like
No,
and all the younger people think it's new.
Yeah, they think it just got
Those are
thought of
just-
yesterday.
Those are just gimmicks, and to me, I've always been fan of the greats, Pryor,
Carlin.
all the greats who they wrote.
But they didn't do what we think is a problem in comedy now. They went full, put their head down, and wrote the shit they had to write.
No, but I mean,
Well,
no,
you know who I look up to a lot? It's Titus, Christopher Titus.
he had good bits back in the day. I haven't seen him lately. I'm not saying he's not great now, but I haven't seen him in a long time. But I do remember his bits about his father.
Yep,
those are
and his
really
mother.
really good bits. You know.
Well, we worked in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? And I was like 20 years old, 19, and I was a middling for him, right? And he told me he's all, how do you write a story? I just talk about it. No, you have to write it out. And he taught me this method, bro. It's wicked. And bro, after he taught me that method, I came on my first CD 3 months later.
Well, at least you're right. We have Mencia here, and we were talking about writing, and he still believes in. Oh, you don't have to write.
No, I don't. I don't.
Like, all right, bro. That's why.
Is that what is really?
Yeah, dude. No, he was
said that?
like, it's all my brain.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
it's all
When
my
it's all
brain.
in your brain, remember a lot of people's bits, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta have. We all have a. You have to sit down. I really believe that people that don't sit down and write about their own personal journey, to me, obviously there's like, you know, the new style of comedy is being a cruise ship director.
Yeah.
And to me, I also love the old school of actually, you know, writing a bit. And the reality is when you write a bit, it's going to suck. And the reality is that people's, their ego can't take the fact that they've been a comedian for a while, but now they have to write this bit that's going to suck.
Yep.
And their ego, they go back to being white belts again. And people hate that feeling. But you have to take that feeling. It's like jiu-jitsu, bro. You can't get good if you're not getting choked out. You know, I don't care how bad you think you are, you're gonna get choked out. You know,
You got to wake up in the morning and say, I didn't do something I was supposed to do. Is that what you're trying to say?
what's that?
You don't want to, you know, wake up in the morning after you get choked out and go, I need to do something different because I just got choked out and I lost.
No. Well, it makes you better. Experience makes you better. But I want to get to. So, hey, bro, with you, how many? Your mom and dad. I know you have a sister, right?
Yes.
It's you and your sister,
Yes, me and my sister.
and that's it. And
That's
just you two. And then she's older, right? Your sister?
Yeah, she's 3 years older than me.
And okay, when did you know you wanted to be a stand-up, bro?
Oh, my grandma was the funniest person in our family.
No, but what age did you know you wanted to be a stand-up?
6 years old.
Really?
I used to watch Bob Hope, and my sister would go, "You don't even know what he's talking about. Why are you watching that?"
But the movies?
No,
That he would do?
the specials he used to do for like the USO. and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, so yeah.
So I would sit there. I had a little like 6-inch TV in my room because we were broke,
Yeah.
and I would watch his specials.
Is that well, I know when I first saw you, and we all start off somewhere, but I remember when I first saw you do stand-up, dude, I thought it was I don't know where you got the style from, bro.
Remedial. I know.
When you would
Turn
did
around
you know
on
about
stage.
this?
Yeah.
Robert, he would tell. Well, you would tell the punchline with your back to the audience.
No,
or,
I would do it. I didn't know how to get from joke to joke.
oh, so
'Cause I
turn
was
it
so
around
young.
was your segue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was his transition
That
right
was
there.
your transition. So for the people, let me catch you up to speed. So when I first do him stand-up, he was about 15, 16, and he would tell a joke and then turn his back to the audience where all you just see is back. And then he would turn around and start a new joke all over again, and then turn around, and then almost like 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, and then you turn around.
Yeah, I waited for them to stop laughing at the last one.
Okay, so how did you come up with that idea of doing that?
Well, I just didn't know how to get from joke to joke.
I know you
So
did
I
it.
had to do something up there to change people, like, you know, their thought process.
Okay.
Because I had some brilliant fucking jokes. Remember my jokes?
No, bro.
Remember I said,
You've always been.
I watched my. I wrote this when I was 14. I watched Murder, She Wrote with my grandmother, And I'm like, why does this bitch travel everywhere? If every city she goes to, somebody dies.
That's
Bitch, stay home.
Bro,
and then I
that's-
turn
no.
around.
No, that was very. No, yeah, you had some clever observations, man.
Yeah, I was in my dad's truck yesterday, and he was listening to this song. Said, "We don't need no education." That's a double negative. You do need one, and then I would turn around.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only way I could really do it because I didn't know how to talk and.
And was your family that they approve of you doing? Okay, so you were what, 14, 15 years old when you first did stand up? Oh.
No, I was 15,
15.
a day before my 16th birthday.
Was your dad encouraging about you being a stand up?
I you know what? I can't answer that question. You want me to tell you why? Because they were getting divorced. And I told them both I was going to be at the Laugh Stop in Montclair. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they showed up just to show up and look like, I'm backing up my son and you're not.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I have no clue of what their thing was.
But
So when they showed up,
They both showed up, yeah. And my dad had like a 29-year-old girlfriend with him.
Fuck.
So I don't know if he showed up because he knew my mom was going to be there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To show off his fucking young girlfriend, or if he just really
supported you.
Yeah.
Okay, no, let's like all that aside, your feelings. What were your feelings? Did you feel like they were being supportive? I mean, if you,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I was too young to understand any of that concept.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Me and my sister were like loved the fact they were getting married because they were never home. It's like we all had our own house.
Like they were getting married with separate people.
They were like out all the time. You know what I'm saying? They would get drunk and sleep till 2 the next Saturday.
No. Who's getting married? Because you said they were separating your parents, right?
Yes, my mom and dad got separated.
So they were marrying different people.
No, my mom didn't meet my stepdad for like 4 years after that. And I was already living with, you know what I'm saying, you and had my own apartment.
No, you're saying that so earlier though, when they first split up, like
when they first split up,
they just didn't want to be in the same house together. So they were always gone.
Okay, but that's what you guys. The fact that they were broken up, you guys were cool with that.
Yeah,
because you guys had the house to yourselves.
Well, we're older Latinos. You know what I'm saying? We respect what dad says. You do. You know what I'm saying? What mom says she's gonna do. And
you really did it, bro. You ran away. I mean, when you were living with us, I was always like, man, I'm surprised like his mom or his dad don't come looking for him. You know what I mean? I was always like,
because I would go to the payphone and call them.
But see, you didn't tell me. But this none of this stuff you never told me, bro. I would ask you like, "Where's your mom and dad?" And you would go, "Oh, they don't care about me." You would tell me something like that, bro.
Well, remember when you yelled at me that one time because Mel Garcia got us me tickets to the Eagles when they came back together, the Hell Freezes Over tour, and my dad was a huge fan.
And what did I do?
Yeah, you yelled at me because the way I talked to my dad.
What did
because
you do?
he's all okay. What time's the concert? I'm on. It's at 7:30. Uh-huh. Where's it at? In Irvine. He said, "Well, I work in Pico Rivera. I got to go home and change to Rancho, and then I got to pick you up in Silver Lake."
No, we weren't in Silver Lake, bro. What do you see? Our first place was North Hollywood.
No.
With Oscar. Carlos Oscar never lived with me.
No,
in
Van
Silver Lake.
Nuys.
Yeah, North Hollywood, Van Nuys.
Okay, we can just ask your son if I remember more things than you, because I remember we were in Silver Lake.
No, bro.
When that happened, bro, we were in Silver Lake.
Talk about Carlos Oscar here when we all lived together.
No, I know, but after we moved out of him, we moved into Silver Lake, right there off Effie. That's where that happened.
Okay, that's where that happened.
And then I hung up the phone on him because I was pissed off. I got you Eagles tickets, and you made us listen to that shit every time we were in the car with you.
Who got Eagles tickets?
I did. Mel Garcia gave me. Remember he worked for KLOS?
Yeah.
So he gave me the tickets for my dad. And then my dad was arguing that he had to drive all the way over here, pick me up, and then go back to Irvine, and then take me back to Silver Lake, and then go back to Rancho Cucamonga.
And why did I get mad?
Because I was talking to my dad like that.
Because he was like, say, Dad, like kind of with the tone of his voice.
Yeah, and I was a stupid kid. I'm like, we have Eagles tickets. We grew up on that shit. He used to have the albums in frames at our house when we were growing up. So I was mad about that, and you put me in my place like you should have, and said, call him back and tell him, let's do this. So then what I ended up doing, I don't know if you remember this, is that I went with my dad to the concert, I went back to his house, and the next day you picked me up. Remember?
Fuck, I don't remember.
See what I'm saying?
Well, I don't remember you ever being close with your dad. I don't remember you ever like that scenario, bro. Is like I always all I remember you is that hey, I ran away from home, and me and my dad, we really don't talk. There's a disconnection.
There was, but the whole point is that it was his job to be my dad, and it was my job to do what I needed. I know I needed to do. He asked me, why you stop going to school? I go, because there's nothing I can learn in that place that what I want to do. I want to be a comedian. And look what I've done. I've been in 6 movies, 7 in September. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've been on 4 series. Nice, I've never had a real job. I never had a job. I've never had one job.
No, that's great, bro.
So here's to God, man. Because first of all, I'm still alive. Second of all, I've had a great career.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. No, there's not the percentages of people that actually make a living doing stand-up. It's like I remember some guy that the statistics, and it's the equivalent to a major league
baseball player
or athlete, a professional athlete. It's like 0.001% of us actually can make a living doing what we want with comedy.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you this story, all right? And I want to talk about what you want to talk about, but I'm gonna tell you this one, all right? Okay, I went to the University of New Mexico because they were starting a voiceover acting portion of their college, and I'm the only one that was at their age, Latino, so I went there, and I go, what am I gonna get? They're all, we'll get you a plane ticket, and you're gonna have a nice hotel. And the University of New Mexico is going to give you a master's degree in the arts.
So you got a master's degree, bro?
No. You know why?
Why?
Because to give it to me, I had to have a high school diploma, and I didn't have one.
Oh.
Dude, my first check, bro, I opened up for John Witherspoon at the Brea Improv. I was 16. They couldn't pay me.
Why?
Because I didn't have a work permit from high school. So I had to call my mom, and she's all mad because I didn't talk to her because I lived with you for a minute, right?
Well, this I never knew, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, you kept to me, as far as I knew, you had no parents. You were like this kid surviving the streets. You know, that's all. You gave me you bullshitted me good too, bro.
No, I'm not talking about bullshit. Look at, you gave me a $50 spot every week at Tequila's, remember? And then we did Laugh Factory, and that was $35 a spot.
Yeah.
So I would make my $125 to give you.
Yeah.
And back then, 2 cigarettes were only $2.10. You know what I'm saying? And then you would bring food, or I would do a show, and I would bring food, and we all just took care of it.
Well, I remember we all cooked. You know,
You tell the story. You tell your son about the story about Dan and Greed.
Yeah. I had Dan in here. We told the story.
Oh, okay.
About the chicken.
Oh, yeah.
About him.
KFC.
Yeah, we opened up the refrigerator and there's $2 on the bucket. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was the funniest thing, man.
Then we were watching
my chicken.
Yeah, then we were watching basketball, right? And then because Willie loves basketball, and then we were watching the playoffs. And
I used to, bro. I don't know any of the players today. I don't honestly like back then.
Well, let me tell the story because it's hilarious. So we said, man, he dunked that from like 5 feet out, and then your dad goes, yeah, like Dan had dunked his hand in our bucket to take our chicken.
Oh, fuck, bro. Probably, man. You have a better memory with me on some of these things. Well, that's and that one apartment because we went through. He lived with me in three spots, Fabian. Robert. He lived with me in North Hollywood or
Van Nuys.
Van Nuys. Isn't Van Nuys North Hollywood?
No, it's like separate.
Really?
Yeah.
They're right next to each other.
Okay, they're right next to each other. Okay, Van Nuys. I always called it North Hollywood, and then I went from there to Gloria's. Mm-hmm. And I lived with a girlfriend for a while. And then we adopted this fucker. Mm-hmm. So he came along like he was my son.
Yeah, right?
and she looked at me like, what the fuck, dude? You know?
Right?
And then from there, I got an apartment. and you came,
Silver Lake.
and then you came to the. By that time, I was trying to get rid of you, bro. I was so glad when you got your deal.
Yeah, right.
Hey, so how long were you guys living together for?
On and off for 3 years.
Yeah,
Damn,
about
that's a
2.5
long time.
years, 3 years.
On and off because he was like kind of a crazy kid. Still is, you know.
Kid, I'm not a kid no more.
I'm not a
but
kid,
okay, I
but you know
appreciate
what
it.
I mean, bro. You know what I mean. You were like one day I just didn't see you, and then you would show up again, like, hey, bro, what's up? You know, and that's.
Well, you know,
But that's good. But I like the.
What he's
fact-
not saying is that when we used to go to do shows, they would let me in. I went to the library and printed out a law that says if I'm a performer, I'm allowed to be in there. You know what I'm saying? So I would carry it in my back pocket. Well, after we did the show, you think he wanted to go home? He'd meet chicks and we'd be at some bar and I'd be in the car.
He'd make you wait in the
Keep
car.
this in mind,
Okay,
Fabian.
that one I don't remember. Fuck it. I don't remember. I don't think I ever did that to you, bro.
Yes, you did. I'm sitting in
would
the
not-
car. I'm sitting in the
not put
car.
that
I
past
cannot
I was about to
have
say, that sounds like
not put that past
a
you, dude.
Willie move right there, dog.
December.
As soon as the chicks get involved, it's a wrap.
Fucking Robert.
As soon as
It's
the women,
fucking- it's like 40 degrees outside December. And
I like the
I
way
go
you
in.
fucking, bro.
Hey,
I bet you.
we need
everything-
details.
it was a fucking blizzard.
I've told.
It was snowing.
It's snowing in Los Angeles.
No, I've told a lot of people these stories, and if you ask them, they'll remember me telling them.
All right, so what happened?
I wanted to turn the car on so I can have the heater on. And then he knocks on the window and he goes, "Are you gonna pay for the gas or what?" Take it off. You already drunk, dog.
Bro.
dude, I could see that.
Okay.
I can totally see that.
Bro, you're my mentor.
Bro, he's got a great imagination, bro.
Imagination. I lived it. We think I did it, my son. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. All right. I'm gonna tell you right now. I love this man to death. That's why I'm here. He called me up 2 hours ago and says, "Hey, can you be here?" And I'm here right now. I love this man. I'm not gonna come up here and talk shit about shit you did that was wrong. I wouldn't do that.
But we don't. I just want to talk about you, bro.
No,
don't
I
talk
know.
about that.
Talk about me. I did some stupid shit.
No. I just want to talk about you. And so, hey, so we fast forward, man. You went through a tough breakup. I went through a tough breakup. You know, breakups are never easy, bro. I don't care how you slice them.
No, I know.
They're just not
They're
easy.
not.
And you know, you have to regroup as a human being. You have to kind of feel like Humpty Dumpty, you know,
Yeah.
where you got to put all the pieces back together
Yeah.
again, but by yourself. I mean, Robert, you went through a similar situation, bro. I mean, we both expressed our, you know, how did you feel? How was that? That breakup shakes you up, right? But as an artist, were you able to use the breakup?
I did right away.
How so?
The day I moved out, I was sitting in my room. I'm sitting there going like, what the fuck is going on here? I said, I can't sit here and cry. I'm gonna go to I gotta get on stage. I gotta go-
Did you write? Did you write?
well,
Did you write about those incidents?
yeah.
About those times?
No, I didn't. No, I went. Well, I went on.
I went to go
stage-
get drunk.
No. I actually did 2 sets that night, and I fucking utilized that energy, and I actually did good. My eyes were all red from crying, but I lied that I was high, so I kind of like.
All right.
I did it like, you know what I mean? So they couldn't see all the fucking. Why am I'm all swollen eyed over here? You know what I'm saying?
For me, bro, the toughest times, the times that have had me my back against the wall, is the times that I've been able to write the best.
I agree.
I get so focused.
I tell my girl that all the time. Like when your life is terrible, that's when the best jokes come out. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not coming from your brain and thinking what's funny. It's becoming the way you feel, and it's a combination of that.
So with your ex, I know you went to a similar situation with me where you lose a lot. You lose, you lose a home, you lose this, and you got to start from scratch. Were you able to utilize that situation as an artist and take it on stage?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a homegirl I grew up with, and we had a talk after I went to the court, right? And I was telling her things, and she goes, we weren't like hooking up or nothing. We're just friends. And she told me, she's all, you know how funny what you're saying is right now. So I did like 8 minutes on my court things.
Yeah.
She went in there and tried to say that I was talking shit about her on stage. You know what I'm saying? And I go, maybe I was because I was mad. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you have a couple of drinks and
So
you go up on
they
stage.
brought that up in court?
Yeah.
Wow.
So her
Damn.
lawyer did. And you know
No
what my
way.
lawyer did?
What?
You know what my lawyer did?
He rebutted.
Yes, he did. He went into court. My lawyer went into court and played my first CD. And all the things that weren't true, he stopped the CD and asked her, does he have a DUI? And she's all, no, he doesn't. And I did a joke about having a DUI.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Did you have black neighbors? And she's all, no. So you're saying he's up there talking, you know what I'm saying, fake things about you. And that's exactly what I was doing. None of it was true.
Well, we have creative license.
Well, nah, but think about this, bro. You're sitting there, I'm reasoning, your 2 kids that aren't mine. You live in a $1 million mansion, and you're over here trying to...
Her what do you mean? Wait. Her kids aren't your kids?
No, I have 2 kids with her, and she had 2 kids before me.
Oh, okay. So you were the Brady Bunch.
Yes, but she didn't work.
Okay.
And then she had a live-in nanny, so she didn't even take the kids to school and back. The only thing she did that I really appreciate is that she cooked, because she was an awesome cook.
Okay. So, but you were able to utilize, my thing was, were you able to utilize those tough situations, you know, and kind of jujitsu it?
Yes.
And make it art. So, well, I'm glad to see where you are now, man.
No,
I
I'm
know
good.
I know you went through, I thought you had a stroke.
No, I had 2 aneurysms.
Aneurysms. So I'm not familiar with that. I don't know.
Bro,
you know.
I'm telling you, like you said, when bad things happen to you, that's like scenes when the best jokes come out. Dude, when they put me in the hospital, they put me in the prison side of the ward. You know what I'm saying?
Which hospitals was this?
Arrowhead. What was it? What was the name of it? Yeah, and they put me in there, and I'm in the prison ward. And I look over, and all these people are handcuffed to the gurneys, and I have a rag tied to them. What am I doing in here? So she was out there, and she's from Monte, so it's not like she's from Burbank. So she knows how to yell and be a bitch, you know what I'm saying? And say, why is he in with the criminals? And I made a joke about it. I said, I was cool, man. I was only there for 6 hours. I learned how to make crack. I learned how to keep prostitutes in line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was terrible for me, but I made a joke out of it.
And then anyway, you fought through it, bro. You're here now.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. I'm glad. Then you have your relationship with your lady.
Yes. She's a great woman. She was there every night.
Nice.
She has 3 kids. She's a 10-year-old. And she went and took care of him. And then when my mom and dad left at night, she would kick it with me all night.
No, bro. Well, I'm proud of you, bro. And I know that you do what I do, man, is we utilize, thing about today, which is the power of social media, and that
marketing.
And there's, I know you still have a lot of comedy, in you, bro, and it's almost like I'm excited about seeing your second half. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you had like a halftime. All right, man. I know you're gonna go out there like Michael Jordan, bro.
Well,
and,
I'll tell you what's wrong with my career is I never had really good people backing me. You know what I'm saying? The only person I think that really, really backed me was Odekirk. You know what I'm saying? And then I got signed with CESD with my voiceover agents. And they were the ones that said, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why are you ignored as much as you are? Bro, I did Happy Feet. Got nominated for an Oscar. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Neutron got nominated and lost to Shrek. The 3 series I've done have all won daytime Emmys.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
Rio won a Golden Globe.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I sang on the Happy Feet soundtrack, and that shit won a Grammy. What award have I not been involved in? They give me my own personal animation.
You
sang, bro?
You sang on that?
Yeah.
What song did you sing?
Do you remember that
It was a weird situation because Robin Williams was going through something, right?
Uh-huh.
So they told us we don't want to. He's not coming to L.A. to Todd A.O. He wants us to go out there, and we went to Skywalker Ranch. We're walking through there and seeing Darth Vader's, costumes and, lightsabers from the first movies. And we're like, where were we at? So we just went off because he got it. We were only supposed to do 3 songs. But
So nobody's asking, like, what song did you sing?
I don't even remember, but we were just going off.
Oh, okay.
Like we did the first 3 songs that the writers and George wanted, and then we just started going off.
Well,
And it won I won a Grammy.
that's
Best
awesome.
soundtrack.
That's awesome, brother. What I want to ask you is, you told me that you gave me actually a number of the people that survived the aneurysms that you just recently had.
Yep.
What's the percentage of the people that actually live through that?
22%.
So you're like,
No, but that's only with 1 aneurysm. I had 2.
okay. So what is it? The statistics?
I have no idea. Nobody knew it.
So that's what I'm trying to get at, bro. Is like, do you feel like, okay, let's say that first, up to the point of the aneurysm, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like this? You mentioned God, which I never heard you mention God before in your life. And then you mentioned, I believe, from what you're telling me, you got closer to your girlfriend. Did that bring you guys closer?
Of course.
Okay. So do you feel that the second half of your career, right? Like, let's talk.
When I came out, when I woke up, right, I had no idea if I was going to be able to walk.
Okay.
If my brain was going to be able to work the same way it did, at least 65%. You know what I'm saying? So my girl, she picked me up, and we went home, and I was laying there, and I said, "What do we got to do?" Because you want to laugh, bro, and this is not me bragging,
Okay.
whatsoever. We know people that made $300 million in our careers.
Right.
So my mom, when I met my ex-wife, my mail was going to my mom's, and so she got a letter from the union, and that it's either good news, a check, or bad news, you have to pay dues.
Yeah.
So I go,
SAG.
Mom, yeah, I go, Mom, read it to me, and she goes, it says that the union is willing to match 16% if you match.
Okay.
And I go, throw that away, Mom, and she's all, no.
No, you
I'm not
get
throwing that away.
no. They get money. So
She's all. I was like 22 years old. She goes, "You're gonna be."
This is not recent. What we're talking about?
No, this is a long time ago. I was living in my ex-wife's apartment in Huntington Beach. So I told my mom goes, "No, you're gonna wake up and be 50 years old. So you're gonna match." And she made me match.
Oh, okay.
So then I called the union, right? And I go, because
now this is current.
now this is.
So were you paying all this entire time?
Yes, every job I got. 'Cause remember, I was doing comedy.
Right.
So I didn't. 16% was nothing.
Right.
Like 16% of a first Jimmy Neutron session, it was $1,700. So it was like a little bit over $200, and I was just giving it.
Right.
So I talked to my friend at the union, and I go, I want to take a $20,000 loan off my pension just so I can get back and see where I got to do. And
Regroup.
And he goes, you can't. And I said, why not? I've been putting in my pension since I was a kid. And he goes, because your mother put it in the IRA Roth account.
Which means
I can't touch it.
till when?
Until I'm 55.
Okay.
But check this out. And I go, why would she fucking do that? And he goes, he's a friend of mine. He's all, shut up, bro. Shut up. I'll tell you right now, if you didn't match, you know how much money you have in there right now? $980,000.
Attaboy.
You know how much you have right now in there? With the 5.2, babe? Yeah.
Okay. So you got some money coming to you.
Triple, because my mom took care of me.
That's badass, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You just gotta wait it out a little longer.
Yeah, and I can.
Island Iverson style.
Yeah, I already do comedy to pay my bills.
Yeah.
And when I hit that,
Well, I'm happy for you, bro.
Thank you, man.
I'll tell you why. I'm not even gonna say the movie star's name, bro. I'm not gonna say it because it's nobody's business.
There's no reason.
But there's a guy that if I say his name everybody would know. But some stuff, man, he's just it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
This guy that we all know, been in many great movies, passed away. I knew his agent, and we talked about his death, and he was he was very reckless. And I asked his agent, I go, hey man, sorry to hear about your client, because I knew him.
Yeah.
And I said, it's sad, man, because I knew him. I knew the guy was always real cool with me. And then he said, Willie, he was really, really struggling at the end. So who knows if it's sad to say, but if that was the best thing for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because he had no money, and all the money that he did make in movies, he would get it right out, and no pension, anything.
No nothing.
So that what I'm trying to say is it's an awesome move of your mom to do, bro. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy for you and proud of you, and I'm happy to see you strong and coming back and kind of have a fresh you had a reset, and I know that you've always been a great performer, and I know.
You know what? It was cool. I'm gonna tell this story for your fans, all right? Because I know you got a lot of them. So check this out. Like when that happened to me, it seems like everything changed. Like it took me that month and a half to be in the hospital to say, look if you know what I'm saying, you could make money for your kids to look at you in 30 years and say that was my dad and he was a badass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just put everything in perspective. So if you get hurt or something, you need to look at why it happened and where you're gonna be. Because my YouTube channel, when I was out, my girl right here and my brother-in-law, they went through to pay my bills.
Wow.
And then my brother-in-law goes, "You made $2,600 on YouTube in November." And I said, "I did?" He goes, "Yeah." Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, my bills are low. You know what I'm saying? Really low.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saving up to buy a house.
Right.
Because I know that when my pension kicks in, I'm not going to have to worry about everything. And my kids aren't going to have to worry about me.
Right.
Everything happens for a reason, dog.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people that go through what you went through. And there's some people that when they go through something like that, when their back's against the wall, some people quit, bro.
Yep.
So I'm glad to hear all these things. I'm glad the lady by your side is watching out for you.
Oh, she's kicking ass.
And your mom and dad are back in the picture. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, right.
But no, bro. Thank you for doing this, man.
No, come on, man.
You
know that, bro. You're my mentor, right? I met you when I was 16 years old, and you took care of me. You think
bro,
that you're gonna call me up and I'm gonna say no?
Well, I wanted to have you, and I'm glad you're here, bro.
Hell yeah.
And
I don't know why Robert Zapata's here though. What's that about, man? I'm kidding, bro.
It's Bob Shoe, bro.
Yeah, right.
AKA Bob Shoe.
Yeah, we need to change.
Another joke he won't retire.
Hey, actually, you know who gave me that joke?
Who?
Jeff Garcia.
Really, bro?
Yeah, bro.
No way.
I swear, dude.
Oh, so he
go, hey, what's up, fucking Bob Shoe? I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's your fucking name, dog. I'm like, oh.
Well, you didn't mention,
bro.
you didn't mention the other one I made funny about.
That's the number one. That's the number two joke. Right there.
You need to change your last name from Zapata to Chata because you need to chata fuck up, man.
I remember when I met you the first time at the Safari Bar, dog.
Oh man,
that's when you used to bring people out. You used to roast them. Remember that was you would at the end you would say you would roast. You do roast battles against audience members.
Yep. Well, you know why I did that? Because when they hired me for the cartoon, I couldn't travel no more.
Okay.
And the same people, it was same faces, different clothes. So I had to, you know what I'm saying? Make shit up as I went.
Yeah. No, I think I stopped by I when you had the Safari Bar.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever performed there, but I stopped by to say hi one time, and then that thing was jumping, man. You had really, really good crowds.
I remember I lied to Jeff. Well, I didn't lie, but I did. I went up to say, hey man, my first time performing. I said, hey, I want to get on stage. He's like, so where you perform at? Laugh Factory, Improv, Comedy Store, just open mic. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hey, you got. Hey, who cares, bro? You bullshit.
Yeah,
you got in, bro.
I got in. He booked me like 2 weeks later. He wasn't there to see me, and I did really good in that set. And then the second time I went there, and I fucking bombed my ass off. Dog.
You bombed? I don't believe it.
Fuck you.
Hey, Baby and Vanny, you want to let people know? You want to?
Yeah. So April 26th, San Bernardino, California, Noah's Restaurant and Lounge.
Oh, that's a nice place, man.
Yeah, no,
8 p.m. show, and then Hollywood.
No, there's 2 shows, bro.
Oh,
There's
2 shows.
8 and 10.
Okay.
Or
Right here. Okay. Well, it says 8
It's like
p.m. right?
most Mexican kids, 8 and 10 years old.
So and then Hollywood, May 2nd, May 3rd, the Catalina Jazz Club. So that's like Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Oh,
yeah. To the people in IE, I look forward to seeing you guys. You guys always show up deep, and nothing but love for the IE. And so that's in 2 weeks, right, bro? That's after Easter.
Yep.
I'll be there. And the following week, for the people, the LA people, that club in Hollywood, the Catalina Jazz Club. It's a beautiful,
that's
beautiful
a beautiful
club.
place.
And I look forward to seeing all my people there. You want to plug anything, Fabian? You want to tell them where to follow you, bro?
Yeah. Willie Barcena 7, Instagram.
All right.
You can
7?
follow me at Robert Zapata, Instagram, Facebook. There you go.
And then Jeff, if you wanna plug what you got going on.
JG's Comedy Underground on YouTube.
You got any shows coming up?
Yeah, I got a
or
show
Instagram?
coming up. We're gonna be at the Bray Improv on the 25th.
Nice.
9:15, 9 o'clock. 9:45. We'll be there, and then we're gonna be in Palm Springs. I'm sorry, I wish I would have known this, so I looked at my schedule.
No, but hey, listen to all my fans out there. Look for Jeff Garcia. Look for him on YouTube. I'm sure a lot of my fans are familiar with him. The fans that aren't familiar with him, look him up. I guarantee you're gonna like his work. And that being said, you guys, thank you for hanging out. And
I hope we were entertaining. All right.
they know that this is just about us just shooting the shit, bro.
Okay, I get it.
There's no way to shoot the shit.
Well, I don't like you to shoot the shit. I love watching your shows, man. You're a talented motherfucker.
No, this is us. Just this is so much. I wanted to obviously do something different that was from our stand up, so they get to know my friends and actors and athletes better, and such as yourself, and just in a deeper way, bro. More than the superficial.
Yeah.
Always a comedian. He does shows. No, I kind of want to peel the onion a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And love you guys. Thank you. See you guys next week, and see you guys in 2 weeks in IE, and in 3 weeks in Hollywood, Catalina Jazz Club.
Back up,
All right.
Willie Barcena.
Love you guys.